What's up, everybody? I'm Mike, and this is the iPhone 5S. The iPhone 5S looks almost identical to the iPhone 5, but we all knew that would be the case anyway. The S models never really have much of a design change. As we look around the phone, all the buttons and cameras are in the exact same place they've always been. But if we take a closer look at the home button, there is definitely something different. It doubles as a fingerprint scanner. The design is pretty genius and makes the phone a little sleeker. There isn't a square in the middle of it anymore, and it's flat rather than curved. From my experience with the fingerprint scanner so far, it works amazing. Way better than I thought it would. It really speeds up the time from taking your phone out of your pocket to actually being inside of your phone ready to use it. Not only does it unlock your device, but you can also use it to verify purchases in the App Store. It's really easy to set up. Once you're in the Touch ID settings, you just put your finger on the home button until it vibrates, and then you lift it up and put it back on. It takes less than a minute to set up a finger, and you can add up to 5 fingers. The other difference you might notice is the camera and flash. It has some pretty cool improvements, but still remains at 8 megapixels. Like HTC, they realized that megapixels aren't everything. Instead, they went with a bigger sensor. Apple's new sensor is 15% larger than the iPhone 5's. The bigger sensor allows more light in, so it takes better low light pictures. They also upgraded the flash. It has a dual LED flash that blends together to capture the most accurate color of the scene. When it comes to video, it shoots in 1080p and can also shoot in slow motion in 720p. It shoots at 120 frames per second, and you could pick the part of the clip you want to slow down. A lot of apps and Android phones have been able to do this for a while, but I was still pretty impressed. The quality is really good and the slow motion is really smooth. The screen is the exact same screen as the iPhone 5. It's 4 inches and it's a Retina display. It has very accurate colors and is a very nice screen, but there's definitely better screens on the market at this point. As expected, the iPhone 5S uses the A7 chip. The A7 chip uses a 64-bit architecture and is the first smartphone to do so. By the time the next iPhone comes out, there'll be a decent amount of apps that really take advantage of this. Some of the regular apps like Facebook and Twitter, you probably wouldn't notice the difference. But when it comes to games, that's where the A7 will really shine. The M7 coprocessor is designed to measure motion data from the accelerometer, gyroscope, and compass. So now that kind of stuff doesn't fall on the A7 and should help with battery life. The M7 will be mainly used for fitness apps and navigation. iOS 7 is the biggest change to their software yet. It features an all-new flat look and adds some overdue functionality. The feature that I think most people were waiting for is Control Center. Since the first iPhone, there was no easy way to turn Wi-Fi off or adjust your brightness. With Control Center, you just swipe up from the bottom of the screen and those settings are right there. Another big thing was they changed the way multitasking works. It learns from how often you use apps to make sure that the information is current when you open it back up. Also, they changed the way it looks. FaceTime audio is probably the most underrated feature of iOS 7. The quality of the calls is incredible, and it's built right into the OS. So far, that's one of my favorite features. iOS 7 is a refreshing update, but it's still lacking some of the functionality that Android has had for a while. These are the official iPhone 5S leather cases. It's a very minimal case that seems like it would still do a decent job protecting the phone. I really like the way it feels. The inside has a nice microfiber material, and the case barely adds any weight to the phone. It retails at $40, which is pretty expensive, but I would still highly recommend it. Plus, it works with the iPhone 5 as well. The iPhone 5S isn't the biggest change to the iPhone, but it's pretty big for an S update. The iPhone 6 will have an all-new design and some pretty big changes under the hood. If you have an iPhone 5, I wouldn't recommend getting the 5S, but if you have the iPhone 4S or anything earlier, this would be a really nice update, unless you're willing to wait another year for something really great. I probably wouldn't recommend this phone to any Android users, not because of specs or anything, but just because of lack of customization. At this point, I think the spec war is over. I don't care if something has 1 gig of RAM or 5, as long as it works well. The iPhone has always proven that software optimization is more important. If this video helped you out at all, please leave a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe so you know when I have a new video. See you guys next time.